What if I told you that the greatest secret ever kept from humanity is not a hidden object, a lost pyramid, or a classified government file? What if the greatest forbidden history, the most dangerous secret they ever buried, is not a place, it's a technology? And that technology is dormant, inside you. We have all been trained to look outward. We search for our origins in the dust of Mesopotamia, in the stones of Giza, or beneath the waves where we imagine the sunken towers of Atlantis. We have been taught that history is a linear progression, from primitive man to modern marvel. This narrative is perhaps the most sophisticated lie ever constructed. It is a program designed to keep you searching for answers everywhere, except for the one place the architects of this system fear you will look: within. The true story of Atlantis is not about a continent that sank into the ocean. It is about a state of consciousness that was deliberately sunk from human awareness. The disaster was not geological, it was spiritual. It was an erasure. This is the forbidden history of the Atlantean God Code. My name is Mystical, and this is Mystical Journey Tales. For millennia, we have been handed a map of reality where we are small, powerless, and disconnected. We've been told that God is an external force, something to be worshipped or feared. But the masters of the ancient world, the true survivors of the last great cataclysm, taught something radically different. Thoth the Atlantean, the figure who bridges the forgotten past with our recorded history, did not leave us myths. He left us a blueprint. He left us the keys to a forgotten spiritual anatomy, a divine technology embedded in our very energetic signature. This is the God Code. It is not a religious text. It is a set of operational instructions for a higher human potential, a potential that they, the engineers of our current consensus reality, have spent thousands of years trying to make us forget. Why? Because a population that discovers this code no longer needs external authority. A population that activates this code becomes sovereign. In this episode, we are not just recounting history, we are decoding the mechanism of our own liberation. To understand what the God Code is, we must first understand the prison built to conceal it. Picture our official history as a piece of sophisticated software. It is a curated narrative, a matrix of belief. This software runs on a very simple operating system. You are a victim of circumstance. You are born, you live, you die. You are separate from your environment. You are at the mercy of economics, politics, and biology. This is the consensus trance. This narrative is not an accident. It is a frequency fence. The true function of this historical matrix is not to inform you about the past. It is to limit your perception of the possible in the present. Now, let's look at the event that they used as the foundation for this false history: the fall of Atlantis. We are told it was a story of hubris, of a civilization that grew too powerful and was struck down by nature or by God. This is a morality tale designed to instill fear. Fear of power, fear of knowledge. But what if the story was inverted? What if Atlantis was not destroyed merely by its own arrogance, but was deliberately targeted because of its knowledge? What if the cataclysm was a multi-dimensional operation, a planetary reset designed to sever humanity from its own innate abilities. The true target of that ancient war was not a city. It was the human energetic system. The goal was to unplug us from the God code. How was this done? By shattering the collective consciousness, by introducing trauma on a planetary scale, and most effectively, by rewriting the very definition of what it means to be human. They dismantled the temples, yes, but more importantly, they dismantled our spiritual anatomy. They introduced systems of religion, of politics, of false science that caused our own internal technology to atrophy. They taught us to fear our intuition, to label our inner vision as myth, and to disconnect our minds from our bodies. They locked the God code in a vault and threw away the key. They created a fragmented human, divided against itself, easy to control. The forbidden history is the story of this disconnection. It is the story of how we were convinced to forget that we were, and still are, divine. Thoth the Atlantean saw this coming, and he created a contingency plan.
Thoth the Atlantean is one of the most enigmatic figures in all of human history. Known to the Egyptians as the god of wisdom, to the Greeks as Hermes Trismegistus, the thrice greatest, he is the ultimate archivist. He is the bridge between the world before the flood and the world after the flood. Thoth understood that you cannot destroy knowledge. You can only hide it. And the most brilliant way to hide something is in plain sight. He did not try to rebuild the physical temples of Atlantis. Instead, he preserved the blueprint of the God code and encoded it into the very foundations of our new civilization. He hid the keys in the last places the system would think to look, in plain sight, disguised as philosophy, mythology, geometry, and alchemy. Picture Thoth as a master cryptographer. The emerald tablets, the texts attributed to him, are not just philosophical musings. They are encrypted data. When Thoth writes, "As above, so below, as within, so without," this is not a poetic platitude. It is a precise law of physics. It is a line of code. It states that your inner world, your within, is the control panel of your outer world, your without. The Hermetic principles, mentalism, correspondence, vibration, polarity, rhythm, cause and effect, and gender, are not a belief system. They are the user manual for the God code. They are the physics of the conscious universe. The system that took over after the cataclysm built its power on the principle of physicality. It taught us to believe only in what we can touch, taste, and see. It is a matrix based on materialism. Thoth inverted this. He encoded the God code in the invisible. He encoded it in vibration. The principles of Hermeticism are all about mastering frequency. He encoded it in symbol. The caduceus, the staff of Hermes, is not just a symbol of medicine. It is a precise schematic of the human energy system, showing the Kundalini energy, the two serpents, ascending the spinal column, the staff, to activate the pineal gland, the wings. He hid the code in alchemy. The alchemist's quest to turn lead into gold was never about metal. It was a metaphor for the human journey. It is the process of turning the lead of a dense, fearful, programmed consciousness into the gold of an activated, enlightened, sovereign consciousness. That is the activation of the God code. Thoth knew that one day, millennia later, humanity would be ready. We would grow tired of the materialist prison. We would begin to question the official narrative, and we would start searching not in the old ruins, but in the invisible realms of energy, frequency, and consciousness. We would find his clues, and we would begin the great work of remembering. This process of decoding is the entire mission of this channel. We are not just exploring these ideas, we are creating a community dedicated to this great work. If you are finding value in this journey, if you feel the pull of this forgotten knowledge, then I invite you to go deeper. The most potent insights, the practical steps we cannot always share on this platform, are reserved for our inner circle. I encourage you to subscribe to the Mystical Journey Tales exclusive Insights Academy newsletter. It is our private digital archive where we share deeper analysis and tools for your own spiritual laboratory. The link is in the description. Join us. So, what is this God code in practical, tangible terms? And how do we begin to activate it? This is the core of our journey. The God code is not a string of words. It is not a prayer. It is your spiritual anatomy. It is the dormant divine operating system that exists within your energetic field, waiting to be brought online. The system, built by they, is designed to keep this anatomy powered down. It does this by creating stress, fear, distraction, and noise. It keeps your frequency locked in the low bandwidth state of survival. In this state, your higher spiritual functions, intuition, coherent manifestation, energetic awareness, are offline. You are running on safe mode. Activating the God code is the process of a full system reboot. For millennia, this process was described in the language of mysticism and alchemy, as taught by Thoth. But now, in our modern era, we have a new language to describe this exact same mechanism, the language of quantum physics and conscious science. This is where we must introduce the work of the great Bridge himself, the scientific mystic Itzhak Bentov. Bentov was a scientist, an inventor, and a consciousness pioneer. He did not speak in parables. He drew diagrams. He used physics. And in doing so, he unknowingly provided the scientific validation for the very God code that Thoth had encoded thousands of years prior. Bentov's work shows us how the code functions. First, Thoth taught the all is mind, the universe is mental. This is the first law of Hermeticism. It means consciousness is the foundation of reality. Now, look at Bentov. Bentov described the universe as a vast, conscious hologram. He explained that our reality is a field of interference patterns, and that our own consciousness is the read-write head that collapses these infinite possibilities into physical experience. He scientifically described Thoth's first law. Second, Thoth taught, as within, so without. This implies you are a microcosm of the entire universe. Now, look at Bentov's most famous model, the wild pendulum. Bentov showed how the human body, and specifically the heart's aortic pulse, creates a micro-vibration, a standing wave that resonates through the skull and stimulates the pineal gland. He showed that when a person enters a deep state of meditation, this pendulum becomes coherent, the body becomes a finely tuned instrument. What happens then? This coherent vibration, according to Thoth, begins to couple with the zero-point field, the vast sea of energy that fills all of space. This is the mechanism. This is the how. Thoth's God code is the potential for this coupling. Thoth's science is the process of that coupling. So how do you activate it? You do not need a temple. You do not need a guru. Your body is the temple. Your consciousness is the laboratory. The first step is to recognize the prison. You must see the system, the external noise, the digital distraction, the fear-based media for what it is, a frequency jammer. Its entire purpose is to keep your internal pendulum wild and incoherent so you can never couple with the universal field. The second step is to reclaim your signal. This is what the ancients called meditation. But let's strip away the dogma. This is about sensory stillness. It is the act of deliberately withdrawing your attention from the system's noise and placing it on your own internal signal, the feeling of your breath, the rhythmic beat of your heart. When you do this, as Thoth scientifically detailed, your internal systems begin to harmonize. The wild pendulum of your thoughts begins to slow down. The noise fades. Your brainwaves shift from chaotic beta to coherent alpha and theta. This is the alchemical stage of separation. You are separating your consciousness from the noise of the matrix. The third step is the activation. As you stabilize in this coherent state, your spiritual anatomy comes online. The God code begins to run its program. Your pineal gland, which the system has tried to calcify and shut down, begins to function as the quantum antenna it was always meant to be. This is not a metaphor. Thoth described this as the moment your personal consciousness field achieves phase lock with the holographic grid of the universe. In Thoth's language, you have turned lead into gold. You have achieved as above, so below. Your within has become a coherent, conscious creator, and your without must now reflect this new, powerful signal. You begin to see the glitches in the matrix. Synchronicities increase. Your intuition becomes a loud, clear signal, not a faint whisper. You stop wanting things and start knowing them. You are no longer just a character in the historical narrative. You are becoming a conscious author of your reality. This is the forbidden history of Atlantis. It was never about a place. It was about you. It was about this power. And it has been hidden inside you, waiting for the day you would be quiet enough to hear it and brave enough to activate it.
The system does not fear an army. It fears an individual who has become whole. It fears a man or woman who has unplugged from the consensus trance and plugged directly into the God code of the universe. The forbidden history of Atlantis is not something you read in a book. It is something you become. You are the living legacy of Atlantis. The code is in your DNA, in your energy field, in the sacred geometry of your own consciousness. They did not bury Atlantis under the ocean. They buried it under millennia of fear, dogma, and distraction. They buried it inside you, hoping you would never look. But the age of forgetting is over. The cycle is ending. The decoders are awakening. We are here to remember what Thoth preserved and what Thoth proved, that we are not small fallen creatures. We are divine engineers, and we were born with a blueprint for a god. Your true history is not behind you. It is within you, waiting to be activated. The great work is not to find a lost city. It is to rebuild the true temple, the temple of the sovereign self. If this message resonated with you, if you feel the stirring of this ancient memory, let us know in the comments. What part of the God Code do you feel activating in your own life? Your insights fuel this journey for all of us. And if you have not already, subscribe to Mystical Journey Tales. We have only just begun to scratch the surface of the archive. The time to remember is now.